The year 2025 marked a turning point for the armed forces of the Philippines as the nation proudly unveiled its first indigenous long-range precision missile, codenamed Kidlat-X, also referred to in defense circles as Lightning-X. For decades, the Philippines had relied heavily on foreign imports, second-hand platforms, and the goodwill of allies to maintain even a minimal deterrence capability. But this time, the story was different. Kidlat-X represented not just a missile, but a symbol of technological independence and a leap forward in the country's defense modernization. When the missile was rolled out at Fort Magsaysay during a grand ceremony witnessed by senior military officials, foreign attachés, and even defense observers from ASEAN neighbors, it sent ripples across the strategic landscape of the Asia-Pacific. What makes Kidlat-X truly significant is its combination of homegrown engineering and advanced foreign collaboration. Developed by the government arsenal in partnership with Philippine defense tech startups and supported by limited transfer of knowledge from Western allies, the missile system emerged as a hybrid of proven global technology and local innovation. Defense insiders revealed that the missile has a range of more than 250 kilometers, making it one of the most formidable strike weapons ever to be produced on Philippine soil. Equipped with GPS and laser guidance, as well as terrain-following capabilities, Kidlat-X could deliver a precision strike on high-value enemy positions with minimal collateral damage. This kind of accuracy is vital for a country like the Philippines, which faces multiple security challenges both internally and externally, from terrorism in the south to maritime disputes in the West Philippine Sea. The announcement caught the attention of both allies and rivals alike. For Washington, it was a welcome development. The United States has long encouraged the Philippines to strengthen its own defense capacity, and Kidlat-X appeared to be proof that Manila was finally stepping up to the challenge. For Beijing, however, the unveiling was more troubling. Chinese state-run media wasted no time labeling Kidlat-X as a provocative move, and warned Manila not to fall into the arms race trap. Yet many analysts noted that Kidlat-X is not an offensive escalation, but a strategic deterrence tool. In a region where China deploys hundreds of ballistic and cruise missiles on its southern coast, the Philippines is simply asserting the right to defend its sovereignty with a credible missile force. On the technical side, Kidlat-X is a road-mobile system that can be launched from specially modified trucks, making it highly survivable against a first strike. Its warhead options include both high-explosive fragmentation for anti-ship and land attack missions, as well as a penetrating warhead capable of destroying hardened bunkers. Engineers hinted that the missile incorporates stealth shaping and reduced radar cross-section features, making it harder to intercept with conventional air defense systems. The propulsion system, designed with local composite materials, enables Kidlat-X to achieve supersonic speeds, dramatically reducing enemy reaction time once launched. Philippine defense scientists were careful to avoid disclosing classified specifications, but the demonstration test showed a missile that streaked across the Luzon skies with terrifying velocity before striking its simulated target dead-on. Politically, the unveiling of Kidlat-X boosted national pride and sent a strong signal that the Philippines was no longer content with being the weakest link in Southeast Asian defense. Social media exploded with patriotic hashtags, while newspapers hailed the missile as the lightning of freedom. Many compared the unveiling to the historic modernization moves of nations like South Korea and Taiwan, which transitioned from being reliant on imports to developing robust domestic arms industries. For the Philippines, Kidlat-X was more than just a weapon, it was a message to the world that Filipino ingenuity could rise to meet global standards. The economic implications are equally significant. By investing in a local missile program, the Philippines stands to save billions of pesos in future arms imports while also creating high-skilled jobs for engineers, scientists, and technicians. The government arsenal has already announced plans to scale production of Kidlat-X and potentially export variants to friendly nations in the region. ASEAN observers from Vietnam and Indonesia expressed interest in joint research collaborations, signaling that Kidlat-X could one day be part of a regional missile network designed to balance against external threats. Yet challenges remain. Maintaining a missile program of this scale requires sustained funding, political will, and continuous technological upgrades. Unlike established missile powers, the Philippines is still vulnerable to supply chain bottlenecks, particularly for advanced electronics and propulsion components. Analysts warn that without long-term investment and protection against corruption, the Kidlat-X project could stall or lose its edge within a decade. Furthermore, regional rivals will almost certainly develop countermeasures. China and even some ASEAN neighbors may respond by deploying more advanced missile defense systems, potentially igniting a quiet arms competition in Southeast Asia. Nevertheless, the psychological impact of Kidlat-X cannot be understated. For years, the Philippines was seen as a country too weak to stand up for its own security interests, reliant almost entirely on U.S. security guarantees. Now, with its own missile in the arsenal, Manila possesses a tool of deterrence that changes calculations. Any potential aggressor must now consider the risk of precision strikes on critical infrastructure or military assets. This does not mean that the Philippines seeks war, quite the opposite. Kidlat-X was built as a peacekeeping tool through deterrence, designed to ensure that the Philippines can defend its sovereignty without needing to fire a shot. As the missile roared during its final live demonstration, President Marcos Jr. stood before the assembled crowd and declared that the Philippines had entered a new age of defense independence. His words echoed across the region, underscoring the symbolic weight of Kidlat-X. The missile may not rival the intercontinental systems of great powers, but for a nation long dismissed in military terms, it was a declaration of resilience, pride, and determination. The world may have been shocked, but for the Filipino people, Kidlat-X was the lightning bolt they had been waiting for, a spark of national empowerment shining across uncertain skies.